Judge Torres is pissed and rejected the settlement proposal, but don't worry, it's a procedural thing. And homegirl needs to get laid. We also might be getting a stablecoin vote here real soon. Updates for you. We'll talk price action, buying opportunities, along with
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
Buying opportunity on the screen, especially if you've got some green to spend. And we got some updates in regards to stablecoins. Torres needs to get laid. XRP price talk at the end, along with what? Stablecoin vote maybe gonna happen in the next few days? It's possible, but your comments come first. Why? Because you, the viewer, matter most. And by the way, my Twitter information is linked down below. And oh, someone blocked me. Too bad the person that blocked me was a scammer, so I ain't worried. Retro Electros is 2 words. Save Ferris. I agree. Save Ferris. Save your money and save Ferris. Mr. Williams bringing us this. I heard about this yesterday. Fake, mostly likely Meta to use Ripple stablecoin. Very true, because if the Genius Act goes through, big companies like Meta will not be able to create their own stablecoin. They will have to use ones from financial institutions. Well done, Mr. Williams. So no, Meta will not be buying Ripple because remember, Ripple is the buyer, not the seller. Robert BT says Coinbase sucks. It goes down every time you want to cash out, and they don't care. Too bad Ripple's not our wives or girlfriends. Going down would be nice. Bitcoin sitting at 103,538 ETH is 2539. BNB at 63, while Sol's at 169. A is at 76.7. While XP is at 244. We'll talk price section more at the end. Memes deep in the red, isn't it? Buying opportunities. Do you got cash to shop with? That's what you need in this world. 90% of financial institutions now use stable coins. Ooh. Stablecoins are no longer a speculative tool, according to Fireblocks' use of Stablecoins report in 2025. 90% of surveyed financial institutions are actively integrating them into their operations. So no, they're not using crypto, they're using stables. By the way, here's that report. It's linked in the description down below. It's actually pretty good. What are they using it for? 58% for cross-border payments, 28% for payment acceptance, 12% for treasury and liquidity optimism, 9% for merchant settlement, and 9% for B2B invoicing. Stablecoins are here to stay. That's why we need the regs, boys, girls, and blue-haired giraffes. Do play-to-earn games exploit users in developing countries? Fuck yeah, they do. And crypto companies out there that go to Africa to teach people to build are exploiting people in Africa. Prove me wrong in the comments down below. I bet you can't. Games like Axie Infinity and Decentraland offered new earning opportunities without requiring formal job or bank accounts, making them accessible to people of all ages. Many play-to-earn games rely on volatile in-game tokens, high entry costs, and exploitive scholarship programs and unsustainable economic models. This exposes players, especially those in low-income regions, to significant financial risks. It's not only that, but then they sell it to people that you could play video games and earn. So yes, a lot of crypto companies now are tapping Africa and other developing areas in order to use them as a cash cow. They are exploiting these underdeveloped areas and lower socioeconomic and lower uneducationalized areas. Yeah, I made that word up. Go fuck yourself. In order to what? Pump up their bags. It's disgusting AF. Negotiations are 90% there as lawmakers continue on the Senate stablecoin bill. Essentially, here's the big thing. They're making it so that players in Congress can't participate in crypto, but they can inside trade stocks. They're also making it so companies like Meta and other companies out there that aren't financial companies can't make their own stable coins. Why? Because of privacy concerns. U.S. lawmakers are nearing an agreement on Senate stablecoin bill, with one source familiar with the negotiations saying that the parties are 90% there. Remaining issues center on ethics rules for special government employees, including billionaires like Elon Musk. The standards for public companies seeking to issue stablecoins as well. The way things stand right now, we're 90% there, said a source similar with the block. That was said today. That's why you hit the subscribe button. What else do I got for you? Eleanor Tourette said leader John Thune has filed cloture with the Genius Act again, with the vote scheduled for Monday evening. So if they get enough votes for cloture, guess what? Then they're gonna vote on the stablecoin bill. I've got good news for you on this Thursday. I've got even more. Are you ready? Judge Torres did what? Judge Torres needs to get laid. She denied the settlement request. Now let's take this a step further. I'm not worried. Why? Well, let's go into the Twitter sphere where I get banned from people because they're scammers. Well, they're also pieces of shit trying to exploit Africa and other developing nations. But let's learn what James K. Filan has to say, and then we're going to take it a step deeper. You ready? Torres has denied the party's motion for an indicative ruling. If jurisdiction were restored to this court, the court would deny the party's motion as procedurally improper. Let's take it a step further. This is Fred Rispoli. This is all linked in the description down below. By styling their motion as for settlement approval, the parties fail to address the heavy burden they must overcome to vacate the injunction and substantially reduce the civil penalty. Translation: you fucking wasted 5 years of my time on this, and this is ridiculous. Refile, and if you beg for relief and give me heavy details on why you wasted my time and why I should do this, I just may. What I would do: file a 25-page motion, describe all the other cases being dropped, file declarations from the commissioners, describe the failures of the SEC to do any meaningful work on crypto guidance, etc. I do think that will get it done, but that's going to take at least 2 to 3 weeks for Ripple and the SEC to put it together, another week or so for the judge to rule. Basically what happened is this. Torres is going, look, why is it that you guys are settling now after you dragged it through court for all these years? Why did you waste my time? Essentially what she wants is this. She wants it documented perfectly, crossing T's, dotting lowercase j's, wonky I, name the movie down below. She wants to make sure that everything is done right so this can't be undone. She wants to hear from the SEC on why this is now magically changing. What has changed? That's what she wants to hear, everyone. So am I worried? No, it's just more legal mumble jumbo garbage from the United States. And remember, the United States legal system is an absolute frickin' mess. So, remember, boys can play girls sports, and apparently we're cool with it, and now we could drag this out even longer. So again, it's not that this is over, this is just procedural BS, and Torres needs to get laid. Now, let's talk crypto price as volume is at $126 billion. Altcoins are still hanging out, and we're going to talk about XRP price. Why? Because again, we're getting support north of the 240 price range action, which is good. It is good. We're not floating down into the friend zone, are we? No, we are not. We're doing okay. Now, the trading pairs are a little wonky. The Japanese yen one is now taking the lead, which is a little weird. We're starting to see some regional buying happen again. And what's weird with this one is when this one pumps, you got to pay attention. Because you will see the Japanese yen pairing roar and then go like dead silent and fall off the map, okay? The other one we pay attention to is the Korean won pairing. So between those two, things are starting to happen, okay? Let's go to the candlesticks and see if anything jumps out at us. And by the way, drop me a little sub, drop me a little like. I'd appreciate it. It helps out the algorithms. Earlier today, we got rejected at the 250 mark, but here we are hanging out right around 243 land. I'm okay with all of this. Why? Because when we zoom out, we're still looking very healthy. What do we need, though? Exactly what I brought up earlier. We need that vote on Monday evening for cloture to happen in order to get a formalized vote on the stablecoin bill. If we don't get the cloture vote, basically, we then don't get the formal vote. We don't get the formal talks and discussions on the stablecoin bill. All that cloture vote does is make it so that we can have the formal discussions on the stablecoin. It doesn't mean that vote it doesn't mean the stablecoin bill passed. It just means we can have formal discussions on that. So we got to see then if we get the 2 votes from the Republican senators that weren't cool with it, and if we get the 9 Democrats that turned away from it to support it as well. You know I'm going to be briefing you the action on that, so hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. But right now, XRP is just hanging out as we're waiting to see what happens for the rest of this weekend. That's right, you made it to the weekend, so congratulations, pat yourself on the back. What am I looking for this weekend, though? I'm looking for volume to stay north of 3.5 billion. I'm also going to be paying attention to see what happens with this Korean won pairing and if the Japanese yen pairing stays here. They have been propping up the market here as of late. The USD pairing is really not doing too much. The USDT pairing with Binance is. So we're definitely seeing some regional buying of XRP with the US buying being a bit soft. So rounding it out, what's happening right now? Stablecoin usage, big time. Stablecoin cloture vote happening on Monday evening. Might be happening, everyone, which would be freaking great. Now, what's happening in terms of Torres? Procedural stuff. She wants to know why the change from the SEC. This isn't a Ripple thing. This is an SEC thing. She wants to know, why is it, SEC, that you decided to drag Ripple through the mud for 5 years and all of a sudden you're like, no, we're cool with this. We're cool with this. That's all this is right now. This is nothing to do with the win. This isn't undoing the win. This isn't taking us backwards. In fact, Stuart Alderati noted, nothing in today's order changes Ripple's win, i.e. XRP is not a security, emphasizing the ongoing legal victories despite the procedural setback. This is just procedural. She wants to know why the SEC is changing their tone, and homegirl needs to get some. So again, thank Gary Gensler for this. He's the gift that keeps on giving. That would actually be really cool if we get the cloture vote on Monday evening, because then that sets us up for legit stablecoin bill discussions. Now, that doesn't mean that the stablecoin bill then will pass. That just means then we could have some formal discussions on the floor, which would be great, because then we could actually have some live streams and see what the people are actually having some problems with. We could actually see, are they having problems with this or with this? And we know what the reality is. They don't want players in Congress owning stables. They don't want players in Congress owning crypto. They don't want players in Congress touching crypto at all. But yet they can play with stocks. I know, I'm going to keep bringing it up because somehow I don't see the big difference in insider trading of crypto versus insider trading of stocks. Two wrongs don't make a right in this situation, but somehow they're going to fight crypto, but stocks are okay. Now, in terms of the thing with Torres, look, it's procedural, but it's also a matter of Torres going, hey, SEC, what is the reason for the change? And she needs that documented, because you don't want this ball of yarn to get unraveled. So for her, she's also covering her butt so that what? So that future administrations can't what? Undo any progress that we have going on right now. Again, this is procedural. This does not change anything about XRP as security. This doesn't change anything about the $50 million penalty versus the $125 million. This is just making sure that the SEC grovels and crawls and kisses her feet and her shoes and makes her breakfast and all that kind of crap, does some really good booty. Because you see this right here, this is the booty. And you got, she's a big booty, okay? So there's two hands right here in the booty and there's a little kiss in the cheeks. That's what's going on right now. Now, this weekend, I don't want to see the volume slide down. Okay, you don't want to see the volume slide down either, because if the volume slides down a lot of times is that interest slides down. And then when the interest slides down, the price slides down. And we don't want to slide down into the boring friend zone, because that sucks for all of us. Because what happens in the friend zone? If the price is too high to buy and it's too low to sell, and we're all sitting here going, nah, this kind of sucks. But it is kind of fun when XRP is around that 240, 250 zone, right? But that 220, 230, 210 zone, we're all like, oh, this does suck. So, fingers crossed, something juicy happens here in the next 24 hours to keep the action hot, spicy, naughty, and relevant. And don't worry, Big Daddy Klaus will be able to guide you through the news, because I bring you the news, good, bad, happy, or sad, every day of the week. Why? Because I love you, girlfriend. Choo-choo, bitches.